Hi, my name is Joe Bova. I'm a docent here at Point Lobos State Reserve, and today we're going to go through the closing procedures for the information station. Just to give you an idea of why you would want to close, it's not only at the end of the day, but it's also if you get stuck in inclement weather during your standard shift, or if you have an emergency and need to go to the restroom and you don't want to leave everything open and available. So what we'll do is, first of all, let's talk about these quick procedures. So a restroom procedure, if you really have to shut it down for 10 to 15 minutes, but you're going to be close by and you're going to come right back. The only thing you would need to do in that case is remove the cash drawer. Just physically take it out, bring it to your car, lock it in the trunk of your car, and then at that point you can close this up, go in back, do what you have to do, come back, take the cash drawer out, place it back into the system, and you're good to go. Everything is secure and safe. The other closing procedures can happen during inclement weather. If you're standing here during your shift in the middle of the day and it starts to rain, you don't want the pelts to get wet. You do not want the materials in the information center to get damaged by the moisture. So you need to close it down, and you need to do it rather quickly. The closing procedures you would follow would be basically the same as you would at the end of a shift. The first thing you want to do is close up the board. In the back, you have a hook that holds the very end station open. Remove the hook, come around to the side, and you have a latch. Pick up the latch and it releases the boards, and you can just close them across, and then you have another latch here that holds them in place. Your poster boards are secured. The next thing you want to do is put the postcards away. Latch off, lift up, and you just take them off. And it's very important to store them in the same place so it's easy for the opening person to take them out. Here is where we'll place the postcard holders, and you place them both in next to each other here. So let's go get the next one and bring it in. And again, same procedure. Unhook, remove, bring it back into the back of the cabinet and post it up against the wall so the opening docent doesn't have to search for them when they come in. Okay, next procedure would be to take the sweatshirt off the hook, and again to bring that back in the side cabinet, and there is a hook right inside the door where you can hang it. Let's close up the pelt, the display station. You want to unlatch the doors and start to close them. Easiest to do it is left to right. And when you have both doors closed, then you can put the latch hasps in place, and we'll lock everything up at the same time. From here, take down the free guided walk sign. The accordion door will not close with the sign or the postcard boards in place. In this drawer here, you'll find an eraser. You want to erase this board, again, to make it a little easier for the person at opening. And you store the board in the drawer. There's another board in the side panel that also has tide information and walk information. Leave that so the people, visitors coming afterwards, still have access to park information, and the person that opens the information station is available to update that board in the morning. At this point in time, the next thing you might want to do is lower the cabinet part way so the the visitors know that this station is officially closed. To do that, come back into the cabinet, and on a hook right inside the door is the crank. Take this and lower the board, lower the accordion door about 3/4 of the way down, which will let people know that you are closed. At this point in time, there are a couple of things you need to check. First of all, are there any lost and found items in here? Secondly, check the cash drawer to see if there are any car keys in here. If there are car keys in here, it means that there have been binoculars loaned out that have not been returned yet. You take the car keys, you return the car keys to the entry kiosk. The next thing you want to do is tally the cash. You have two options on how to do this. If it's a nice, easy day, not a lot of people running around, you can do it right here at the station. If the weather is inclement, or if it's windy, or if there's just too many people running, you can take the cash drawer and the tally sheet out, go to the comfort of your car, and do it in the front seat of your car. So you come back into the back of the information station. You will find the envelopes right on the side here in the container. Just bring one out, and this is what you're going to use to make your cash deposit. So the next thing you want to do is count the cash and leave $50 in the smallest bills and change in the cash drawer. Well, now we've counted out $50 in small bills and change, left it in the cash drawer. The only thing we have left to do is to complete our tally and make our deposit back at the Docent Center. What we can do here is take today's tally sheet off the list. You have tallies on both sides for items that were sold today. One side is for the public, the other side is for PLF members and other docents. Take the remaining cash with the tally sheet, fold it up, put it in one of our envelopes. This you're going to take back to the Docent Center. You're going to tally the amounts on the tally sheet to see how much was sold, count the cash, so you have an idea, so you can match the cash against what was sold, and then fill out the sheet. Put your name on this line with today's date and the amount of money that you have in here with the tally sheet, and deposit it in the safe at the Docent Center. When you're leaving, you also want to write down your $50 amount and initial tomorrow's tally sheet, so the person opening knows who was here, knows how much money is in the till, so when they check it, they can make sure it's accurate. Take any lost and found items that may have been left and take those to the entry kiosk. So when you go back to the Docent Center, one trip to the entry kiosk with lost and found items, everything else that's in here tallied and balanced into the cash safe. Close up the cash drawer and make sure the clipboard is out of the way and there are no obstructions hanging out. And now we'll finish the closing of the accordion door. Once we have this down, we're going to put the latches in. I'll show you how that works, and then we will get the locks ready and lock it up. Okay. One last thing, you have the sandwich board out with any walks today, especially if there's inclement weather, so the board's not damaged, and so the opening docent tomorrow morning would know exactly where to find it. You want to rest this right on top of the postcard section, where you have the postcards. One more thing. As you go back to your car, you'll notice there are two cones out here. They're to hold open the spots for the docents that are actually on duty at the center. When you close up the information station, it's always a good idea to take the cones, put them back inside the station, and then the morning opening docent can put those cones back out and keep them safe from walking away from us. The final procedure at the information center itself is to put the locks on. You have 5 locks you need to return. All 5 should be open and set to 0 on the door. So you want to make sure you check to make sure that they are all zeroed out and they are all open, and then you latch the door. You want the F facing front, so you put it in with the F facing front, and you have to push it all the way in and make sure it is latched. Do that on both sides. And again, we're making sure the F is facing forward. You're pushing all the way in, and it is latched, and every number is on 0. The other two locks will go on the hasps up on the interpretive center. And once again, you could never say it too often, but they were all set to 0. F facing forward. And pushed in and latched. All set to 0. F is forward, all facing latched. The only thing you have left to do now is to close the back door with the last lock. Latched, twist, set to 0, F facing forward, push in, make sure it's locked. And you're done here. The next step you have to do is over at the docent center and the entry kiosk if you have some keys to return. We'll meet you at the docent center. Here we are at the docent center. First and most important thing, if you have lost and found items, if you're bringing back keys that are left for binoculars, take them to the entry kiosk now. This way you don't forget and inadvertently take them home with you. The envelope with the cash. You want to bring it over to our safe. We have a lock safe back here next to the copier. What you'll need to do, double check, make sure you have the date, your name, and the dollar amount that's in the envelope. Fold it. Okay, here you're going to find a log. What you'll want to do is, by the corresponding date number, put the dollar amount that's in the envelope. Then take the envelope itself, deposit it in the open slot. From here, you turn the hand crank and you check to hear it drop and make sure it's not still in the container. If it's still in the container, turn it again until it falls through and stays in. Now you're finished. Now you can basically lock up, go home, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you again.